Welcome to Crypto.XL, your go-to spot for all things crypto. Here we dive into market trends, altcoin gems, and blockchain innovations, helping you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of crypto. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Want exclusive insights? Join the Patreon where I share buy and sell picks, market updates, and behind-the-scenes content. Hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's ride the crypto wave together.
Crypto.XL. I'm back. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? This is Crypto.XL with your market update. We're currently deep into May of 2025, and Bitcoin is at approximately 103,000. We've had some pullbacks, or we're getting a slight pullback. We pulled back from approximately 105,000 or 104,500, and we're currently descending. Slight pullbacks, up and downs on an hourly, and we've broken to 102,500, and now we're currently at 103. What do I think about these pullbacks? What do I think about the cycle? Where are we from my perspective? How our current position, how does it relate to projections, and what do we think is going to happen in the future? All right, let's go over some of these questions. Now, where we are, I think, is pretty good. I think it's par for the course. We're approximately where we should be. The market is, I was going to say it's volatile, but honestly, it's not really that volatile. I mean, this is crypto. We do have to remember that we've come up from approximately 74,000 over this past month and a half, and we've gotten all the way up to 105,000. So it shows that there is bullish momentum in the market. There's something that we have to pay attention to, though, is that retail investors are not really in the market right now. This momentum is driven by industrial investors or institutions. That's the word I'm looking for. It's driven by big companies and people with big wallets and an endless supply of cash, meaning that Bitcoin is going to go wherever they feel like pushing Bitcoin. So we may feel that Bitcoin is going to have resistance at 120,000, but at any moment, especially over the next few months, we're mid-May. So over the next few months, May, June, July, we can get a really fat green candle that leads everyone sideline, and we can push towards 150K, 140, 150, somewhere around there. Now, is this guaranteed to happen? No, I use the word could. That could happen. And if it does happen, the question is, will we be happy with the amount of crypto that we hold? Because as you know, having a Bitcoin past 120 in the tens of thousands going higher is going to bring light. It's going to bring attention to the other altcoins, mainly the top 100 altcoins first, right? If we have a Bitcoin that again is 120, anywhere above that and heading upwards, it doesn't really take much of a percentage of this capital from Bitcoin to flow into the altcoins. For these altcoins to start doing high numbers, 5x's, 7x's, etc. So what I'm trying to say is that right now we have this short-term volatility and low ranges of Bitcoin movement. But the important thing to pay attention to is that we're above 100K. And at any given moment, and I do feel this is going to happen, we're going to be sleeping or we're not going to be paying attention, and we're going to get some very powerful and positive green candles that's going to push Bitcoin to its recent highs. Recent high was around 110,000 a few months ago, and we're going to end up breaking that, and we're probably going to end up pushing at least 120K. And none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a crypto enthusiast. But I do feel that change is coming. And the perception of Bitcoin of a store of value, and also the perception of Bitcoin as being in a range of below 100K, that times are changing. And this cycle might put Bitcoin in a different category altogether. A category where nation states are now acquiring Bitcoin, a category where Bitcoin is considered gold, like the legitimate digital gold. And that is possible. So what we like to do on this channel is front run the narrative and front run the investment possibilities, and to take opportunities. So if these things were to happen, if these things were to happen, you have to ask yourself, are you comfortable with with your current crypto portfolio position? And I think I could always have more altcoins. Now, the altcoins I'm looking at in particular are the coins, within the top 1,000 altcoins. I think at this point, risk versus rewards, it's probably better to hold some of those. Quick note, Ethereum, I was mentioning getting into this Ethereum trade a while back, and it seems like I got into the trade a little bit too early, but I've been DCing into Ethereum for quite a long time. I did see Ethereum hit 1,400, and Ethereum is second to Bitcoin. It's right behind Bitcoin. And the way how crypto works is that your top 10 altcoins, or top 100, but in this case, top 10 altcoins, they'll be stagnant and they'll be dead and flatline for quite a while. But when they move, the move happens so quickly that you'll be left behind and you won't be in the trade. So Ethereum, I'm assuming that it's going to go to all-time highs, and I'm expecting it to break it. Is it going to go much higher than all-time highs? I don't know. I just want to get Ethereum at $1,400. That's all I'm concerned about, is to continue to DCA into a top altcoin during a bull market, preferably before the bull market. But then again, if you look at the $1,400 price, that's bear market prices for Ethereum, right? Now, are we going to go back down on Ethereum? Ethereum's around 24, 2,500. Are we going to go back down on Ethereum? Are we going to get another opportunity for $1,400 Ethereum? No, I doubt it. Again, this is just my opinion. Are we going to have a pullback on Ethereum? Yeah, we probably will. Um, no one is going to be buying Ethereum because Ethereum's too big at this point. But again, what we do not know is that we don't know what is going to happen, how high Ethereum is going to go, or how high any of these altcoins are going to go. What I will say though is that since I think we're still in a bit Bitcoin bull market, and I still think that Bitcoin has more legs to it, that I want to get into the next trade before it happens. I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm saying Bitcoin is over $100,000. So it's not a good time to be buying this asset that went from 15,500 to 100,000. and possibly could be going to 150,000, which would leave Bitcoin at a 10x for this cycle were that to happen. So we know now for next cycle what to do and on which coins to acquire. Acquiring Bitcoin at its lows in the end of 2026, looking at the Fibonacci retracement, possibly at the end of 2026, we're looking at a $30,000 Bitcoin, somewhere around there. If you look at the 786 on the Fibonacci retracement, depending on how high Bitcoin gets this cycle. So somewhere around a $30,000, $35,000 Bitcoin, acquiring it at the depths of the bear market in 2026, riding that up for a possible 5x, 10x over the next couple of years. We're looking at 2027, 2028. So that could be the main portfolio. At the same time, dipping into the top 10 alts of this cycle or top 20 alts of this cycle that have had a 90% retracement, DCAing in with a small fraction of the portfolio, perhaps 20 to 30% of the portfolio, and just holding it and waiting until the next bull market or peak of the bull market, which will be approximately 4 years from today's date. So if the peak of the bull market in 2025 is at the end of 2025, Q3, Q4 2025, that will mean the peak of the next bull market will be 4 years after that, which will be Q4 2029. So again, acquiring Bitcoin, getting multiples from Bitcoin, acquiring key altcoins when they're 90% down, and then taking the last part, taking some of this, or part three, taking some of this Bitcoin and converting it into altcoins in January of 2029, and then riding off into the sunset Q3, Q4 of 2029. So we kind of have an idea of what to do here on this channel. I did leave out one thing. Another key part of the strategy is to short next year in 2026, because 2026 should be a catastrophic bear market in everything, but also in crypto, right? We're expecting a boom this year. Do remember, over 2 years now, I've given you the game plan and the projection of what's going to happen in the markets from, years back, and what we thought was going to happen is actually playing out and has been playing out. The exact month, at the time that I made these projections, I did tell you that the exact month, look, we're not going to get the exact day correctly. It's impossible to, again, it's kind of foolish to expect that. You're going to be disappointed. You have to have some flexibility and you have to be reasonable, right? As long as you get the quarter, if you could dial into the quarter of the year, I think that is key, and that in that way you beat 90% of market participants. So the plan is simple. We're going to ride out this current bull market. We're expecting altcoins to skyrocket. Bitcoin dominance, last time I checked it, it was in the 60s. I don't remember exactly, 62, 64. It was in the 60s. I'm expecting it to actually do a slight kickback and do one more retest. Maybe it'll hit 70, right? Maybe Bitcoin dominance goes to 70, or altcoins bleed for a while. Everyone starts to panic because we all look at each other and say, hey, there's no altcoin season. This is the first cycle without an altcoin season. And then we get a sudden drop in Bitcoin dominance, and altcoins start going crazy, 10x crazy. Okay, manage your expectations, because if you're waiting for a 10x and you only get a 5x and you didn't sell, then you could have a bad experience with crypto. So do remember to take your initials out, because we don't know. No one knows for sure what's going to happen or where things are going to go. I would say on this channel we've been pretty good. We haven't been 100%, but then again, I told you from the beginning, I don't expect to be 100%. That's not what I'm shooting for. There are so many things that we got right. I was saying that, this is odd. I didn't expect to get that many things right, and we don't need to. We just need to get the macro right. Get the macro right, okay? Everything else, all right. So where are we? Um, to put everything in a nutshell, I think I hit on some key points. The only thing I didn't mention is which alts to get into. I would say that depending on your risk tolerance, the alts that are in the top 100, I think the chances of them doing really, really well is good, because they're the first ones that are going to get this surge, this green surge of energy. They're going to Hulk out first, right? They're going to get the gamma rays first. So, and they're less risk, right? So more risk is not necessarily more reward. So we have to be really careful, because I did see a lot of alts in, like, I would say 3,000, 4,000. I've seen a couple of these projects rug, right? So you have to be really, really careful. These projects are great after altcoin season starts, and after the top 100 and top 400 coins have already done a 4 or 5x. Now these other alts over here that are alt number 4,050, now those are good investments, but not right now, especially on this pullback, and especially as Bitcoin dominance rises. We're seeing a couple projects we're seeing some of these founders rug their projects. All right, so be very, very careful and be mindful of that when you're getting into these $2 million low cap gems. Just be very, very mindful of that. All right, so back to Ethereum again. Keep your eye on it, because Ethereum is a barometer, right? If you see Ethereum starting to, first of all, Ethereum's doing well now. It had a little spike to 2,600. But if once you see Ethereum really start to get going, that's a indicator that the altcoins, especially the altcoins on Ethereum, that they're about to start to get going. Okay, so the betas on Ethereum is a leverage play on Ethereum. So these meme coins that are on Ethereum are going to do 2, 3, 4x what Ethereum does. So keep an eye out for that. And getting in on a massive pullback, like we're in this short drawdown right now. If you see all of a sudden, Bitcoin just jumping down without a parachute, it's only so far it could fall. That's another thing to keep in mind. But if you see that red candle, I would get in at that point and just hold. Just get in and hold. I do like leverage, but the problem with leverage is that you don't know when it's going to bounce. So if you manage to buy, and even a 3x leverage, with 30%, you could be liquidated, right? So whatever you put in on leverage on a 3x, just be prepared to lose that money, because another thing they do too is they go liquidity hunting. You will see on exchanges that some of these coins don't even hit the mark where you should be liquidated, but it hits it on your exchange. You'll see like a scam candle that doesn't show up. If you go to CoinMarketCap, you don't see the price come down that low. But on your exchange, you might see it go down that low. And they do that just to liquidate the longs. Okay, so also, if you're going to use leverage, you're going to be forced to use a stop loss, right? And the stop loss is to prevent you from getting liquidated on a scam candle that these exchanges are pushing, right? So I just wanted to come back, give you a market update, because I know I haven't made a video in a while. I've been living, taking care of a few responsibilities, and setting up for the summer. But yeah, things are going according to plan, and hopefully I'll come out with some more videos, because I think they are insightful and helpful. Well, this has been Crypto.XL with your market update, and I'll see you at the top. Peace.
Welcome to Crypto.XL, your go-to spot for all things crypto. Here we dive into market trends, altcoin gems, and blockchain innovations, helping you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of crypto. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Want exclusive insights? Join the Patreon, where I share buy and sell picks, market updates, and behind-the-scenes content. Hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's ride the crypto wave together.